we will have for governor Ken Yasger come up. If Ken's here, all right, Ken, come on up and please speak. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Ken Yasger. I bet most of you have not heard of me before. And what I tell people is the reason you haven't heard of me is because I'm not supposed to be up here. I'm not supposed to be up here for the same reason you're not supposed to be up here. Because we don't have millions of dollars. We don't have political action committees and lobbyists backing us. We're real people. We're everyday Georgians who work our butts off to feed our families, put gas in our car, and take care of your kids. I'm up here because we're not supposed to be up here. I'm trying to give real people a voice. So I wasn't born and raised in Georgia, so I get attacked a lot for that, but my dad was in the Air Force for 24 years, and then I, by the grace of God, enlisted in the Army, and I got stationed down in Georgia. Go Army. I was in the 1st Ranger Battalion. I was in the 1st Ranger Battalion in Savannah, Georgia for 4 years, where I deployed to Afghanistan twice. And then in 2015, I transitioned to the Georgia Army National Guard, where in 2019, I did a 3rd deployment to Afghanistan. And then in 2024, we did a 4th deployment to the Middle East. So I had 3 combat deployments, but 4 deployments overall. But something I definitely like to say is being in the military does not qualify you to run for office. It just helps with discipline. It helps with fight. But something it also does, it did contribute to my past in not the most positive way, and I like to talk about that as well. You'll never hear a candidate speak like I do. So I also struggle with alcohol addiction, and I hit 2 years sober January 2nd of this year. But 4 or 5 years ago, I was sitting at home by myself in my apartment, and I didn't see a place to go. I didn't see a reason for me to keep living. I was intoxicated, sitting at my desk, and I started taking pills. When people ask me why I believe in God, it's because I was by myself. I didn't make a phone call, but somebody stopped me. And I've said in an interview recently that somebody was telling me it's not my time. I'm not telling you God wants me to be the next governor of Georgia, like some of these other candidates are going to tell you. But I'm trying to change people's lives, and you can do that while campaigning as well. You don't have to be elected. But if elected, I guarantee I'll fight for every single person like I fought for this country and I fought for my life. So somebody actually asked me today on Facebook, she said, so what makes you different? Because I'm a very big critic of the federal government, no matter who's in the White House. Whether it was Biden or President Trump, I criticize on Facebook a lot. And the reason is because I'm a constitutionalist. The states don't have the rights, the people do. And it's the governor's job to protect the people from the federal government and protect their rights, and that's what I want to do for you. So she asked me, so what makes you different than Rick or Bert? I'm not attacking either of them, okay? I respect them and what they're doing. But when I mention them, it's just to bring up a point. What makes me different is I'm still in the Georgia Army National Guard. I'm the only veteran running for governor. And I'm also still in the service industry on Tybee Island, so I'm a real working person. I take my own trash out at work. I get it if you're a business owner, I highly respect that. If you've been an elected official, good job. But when you're running for office is not when you should be bragging about traveling the state. That's been your job. That's what you should have been doing this whole time. I meet people at work who don't even know who these politicians are, and that's sad to me. What makes me different is I'm still a working person who understands the struggle. The week that Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones announced his campaign, again, if I had the money, I'd spend it too, but he loaned himself $10 million. I was on my way home from work that night, and I stopped by Kroger on Gwinnett Street in Savannah, and I was behind an older black gentleman with a walker, and his card declined buying a 6-pack of eggs and a loaf of bread. What makes me different from the other candidates is I may not have the political experience, but we're all gonna surround ourselves with the same advisors. And you know what? The other governor's candidates, if I win, they can come work for me and advise me, all right? So the difference, though, is after the advisors tell me what I should do, what they think I should do, my ultimate decision will be made after I think about that person who's sitting at home feeling like their life is over. That person sitting at home who drinks their life away or takes pills to forget what happened that day. And when I make my final decision, I will never forget that man who I saw at Kroger, whose card declined, buying a 6-pack of eggs and a loaf of bread, because it's not politicians that save this country and run Georgia. It's not me that's going to be running this state. It's going to be those people who are shopping at Kroger. It's those people who I'm serving at the restaurant that I work with. It's the veterans, it's the teachers, it's the law enforcement officers, it's the farmers. Whether they vote or not, they're the ones who are running our state. They make it possible for me to be up here. They make it possible for us to be here. And like I said, I have fought for this country, and I still fight for this country. I'm up here because I fought for my life. By the grace of God, I'm still here. And every single day, if I had the honor of being the next governor, I will fight just as hard for every single Georgian, whether you voted for me or not, or didn't vote at all, because every Georgian matters, especially when it comes to the governor's mansion. God bless y'all. KenForGeorgia.com. I'm going to be here all day. If you have any questions, please let me know. What's that?
I just want to put a little plug in for Ken. He just ran across the whole state of Georgia.
So I walked across the state from Savannah to Atlanta, walking through small towns that most politicians haven't even heard of, to file my paperwork. So I showed up to file my paperwork in a t-shirt and shorts with a rucksack on my back, because I was walking through small towns that literally are running this state, because I don't have the millions of dollars, but I could put a rucksack on, I got feet, and I can walk.
Thank you, Ken.